Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in this beautiful planet of ours. This is Marc the Intuitive Prospector, here for another Monday morning Metaphysical Mocha Monday with Marc. That's a tongue twister, right? So just want to thank you for joining in this morning. I hope you had a fabulous weekend. This morning we're going to be talking about prayers, percolation, patience to achieve peace, and it's something that had come up during my meditation. But before we get started, grab your coffee, grab your tea. It's one of the requirements for hanging out with me here on the Om Times Institute page. Again, if you're new to the page, please like it, subscribe to this video so you can get it every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to go ahead and post in my link to the Intuitive Prospector page, where I'll have the Metaphysical Mocha Monday Q&A after show with me over on the Intuitive Prospector page here on Facebook Live. And it's a way to have a direct conversation with me to answer your questions, have a spiritual conversation, just see what's going on with all of the amazing people all around the world. We have a global audience, so thank you for being here. If this is your first time joining, please let us know where you're from. I do like to come back after the video is over and answer your questions if I have time, just to give you a quick hi, see how you're doing. But please help us grow this page as well. We've grown this page over this is my second season of Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, and we've really grown it through the grassroots, the spiritual community, the soul tribe, spiritual prospectors, people that are looking for something other than what the world can offer them, I guess. I like to say, explore the unknown, see the unseen. So metaphysics, meditation, healing, psychic sciences, mediumship, just spiritual conversations to, get you thinking, get you inspired. And that's why I do it on Monday mornings, is to set the tone for the week. So today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So it's a holiday here in the United States. So I'm off from my day job. I'm going to be giving you some quotes for your positive affirmation for the week from Dr. King, and somebody that really was an inspirer and somebody that came in and changed the world as we see it today. So I'm also going to be giving you your spirit totem animal for the week. I'm also going to be giving you your numerology number for the week. And I'm also going to be giving you your prospecting stone for the week. So you get a couple tools for your spiritual toolbox, as they say, to help you through the week until we get to next Monday. And if you can't make it to next Monday for the next Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with me, you can catch me live here on the internet through Om Times Radio. The show's called Inspired Living Radio. We're moving into our third season. That's 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And it's a live radio show where you can call in. You can post your question on our closed Facebook page, Inspired Living Radio. We have inspired listeners all around the world. We love our audience. And again, going into our third season. So it's been a lot of fun. This week we're going to be talking about NDEs, which is near-death experiences, and how NDEs, myself included, I've had not one but two that changed my life to put me on a path of spiritualism. And we're going to have two folks that wrote a book, Skyping in all the way from London, England. So it's going to be a live show. So I hope that you'll join us for Inspired Living Radio. Again, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you want to catch any of the work that I'm doing, either here on the Om Times Institute page, if you want to catch my radio show, Inspired Living Radio, if you want to take any of my classes through Learn It Live, join my spiritual development group, you can find all that information at marclanehart.com. You can also internet search the Intuitive Prospector. You can also find me at Best American Psychics, Best Psychic Directory, and I'm happy to announce that I'm going to be represented by a marketing firm called Ariel. So I'm very excited for this new opportunity in 2018. Having a little bit more hands to help me with the spiritual work that I'm doing, or as I like to say, spiritual prospecting for your own spiritual goal. So grab your coffee, grab your tea. Let's take a moment just to get into the present moment, because I think that's where the magic is always found, is in the present moment. Not in the past, not in the future, but where the mindset is right now. So grab your coffee, grab your tea. I've got my Garth Brooks World Tour coffee cup this morning. I always like to have different coffee cups for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. And just take some deep breaths with me. We're going to be talking about prayer, percolation, patience, and finding your peace. So I had to think about this. I need another drink of coffee, really. So go ahead and just take a deep breath with me. Get into the magic of the moment. if you're watching this at home, just find a place just to relax for the next 25 minutes. Feet on the ground. Taking in the free breath, taking in the free energy, which we call prana, which is the connection to the unseen world. A lot of people don't even breathe right, believe it or not. They breathe in through their mouth when you should really be breathing in through your nose. Good deep breaths where your stomach actually expands out. And you can actually just feel better. It helps deal with stress. It just helps bring you into the present moment. So take another good, deep, cleansing, healing breath with me. And just let it out. You should practice doing breathing meditations or just being focused on your breathing when you first get up. I'm here in Seattle, Washington. I was just outside before going live here on the Institute page, and we have a beautiful sunrise, just bright reds and oranges. And so I went out and did a little Qigong, which is, Qi is your energy, Gong is the study of, and it's an ancient philosophy of just moving your energy, moving your body, just awakening your body, waken your physical senses, waken your emotional senses, waken your mental senses, and waken your spiritual senses. And so just doing that can really set the tone for your day. So I always highly recommend to any of my clients, my students, or anybody I'm working with, try doing the power of meditation, just sitting in silence, even if it's just focused in on your breath. First thing in the morning, do it in the shower, go outside if the weather's nice, and it really does set your tone. It also is a form of prayer, not from a religious aspect, because there are so many different religions in the world, and everybody has such a different perspective and a take when it comes to religion. But prayer is just, if you look at it at the tune of thoughtfulness, mindfulness, consciousness, your prayers are thoughts that are expanding out to something that is bigger than us, unseen. Unseen for some. I through my practice and my discipline and my mentorship, I've had a better way to connect to the unseen world. And that's why I like to say, explore the unknown, see the unseen. But prayer is the thought of going out. So you're saying, well, what the heck is percolation, Mark? Well, percolation is also a way of waiting for the answers to come back. A lot of people put their prayer, their thoughts out they send that vibration out to the universe, to their God, to whatever their belief system is, but they don't wait for it to ripple back, to vibrate back, because what goes out comes back, just like the ocean. When the tide goes out, the tide comes in. And so percolation, by definition, is actually based on coffee. So, and this is Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with Marc. So, percolation is the of taking something and filtering it through so it percolates like a coffee filter, like you'd filter coffee through. Well, percolation within your mind is through the power of meditation. Meditation is like listening back to your own prayers. So that's why I'm calling today's message prayers, percolation, patience. A lot of times we put the cart before the horse, and we lack patience. And I can tell you, in your spiritual journey, in your spiritual path, patience and trust is going to go a long way with helping you to explore the unknown, to see the unseen. And so we have the power of prayer, percolation, aka meditation, listening back, going within, not what the external world tells you, but listening back to what your own higher self tells you, what your angels tell you, what your ascended masters tell you. I've got a lot of people in the spiritual world, and I'll tell you guys, before I even set out on the spiritual path, it was through great tragedy that put me on this path to be here talking with you today, where I realized there is an unseen world, there is a spiritual world, and talking with my loved ones, my family, my fur babies that I've had, my fur children that are all on the other side that I can connect with each and every day. So it doesn't have to be out there, it doesn't have to be woo-woo. I'm a very analytical mind thinker, and so I like to approach the subject with going within, because that is the only way out, is within. And when you percolate within your own energy, and you meditate with your own thoughts, and you connect to that unseen, it can really give you some spiritual guidance. Not going to give you all the answers. You still have free will and choice, which is your greatest power while you're here. Free will, choice, and personal responsibility to make your choices and plant those seeds for your future. But the percolation can only help, not hurt. So prayer is thoughts going out. Percolation, parentheses, meditation, is sitting through and filtering through some of your thoughts. Why are you even thinking the thoughts that you are having? Are they needed for your spiritual path? Are they needed for your higher self? And then, of course, patience. Having patience within the day. one of the things that I always recommend to people is to be the observer, not the judgment, not the expectation, not the opinion. Just observe. And sometimes that can be tough. Something that I've had to learn with myself as a retired first responder. I always want to jump in. I want to help people. I always like to say, in the first half of my life, I served my country in the U.S. Coast Guard for 8 years. And then I moved into the fire service and was a professional firefighter for 5 years. So I like to say I served my local community. I've always had a helping heart and always wanted to, help people and see people be bigger and better than themselves. And now, as a retired firefighter, as a retired rescue worker, now I moved into being a light worker, if you will, and being a first responder in serving the spiritual world, serving the spiritual community. So kind of 3 aspects of my life, but I've always been in service to helping in one way or another. And that's why I was saying, with the analytical mindset that I have, the critical thinking mindset of my past, it plays into a lot of the work I do here today in spiritualism. So again, you have your own free will, you have your own choice, you have your own thoughts. And when you put your thoughts out, we call that, as humans, we call that prayer. Different religions have a different take on it. But for today's episode, it's just about your own prayers. What are you putting out? What are you sending out in a vibration? And are you percolating? Are you meditating to listen back to what comes back into your human energy field? And the human energy field is your human energy that is emanated by your heart, comes from your heart. We call that the God spark. No different than Mother Earth giving off the borealis lights that we sometimes get to see. It's the same thing with the human. Each human gives off their own energy. So what you put out, you should wait and meditate to see what comes back, because meditation can really change your life. Mindfulness, consciousness, being aware, using your intuition, being the observer of life rather than being the opinionator or the wanting to control life. Because trust me, guys, you're not going to be able to control life. Life doesn't ask us what we want. Life just goes, and we have to coordinate and be what I call big wave surfer to the waves of change. So if you have a question, I'm not seeing anybody on the live feed is turned off, so I do apologize, but that's so I can get to the topic this morning of prayers, percolation, patience, and peace, because that's the overall goal, is to get to a place of peace, get to a place where you feel like you are grounded, not a lot of worry, not a lot of stress in your daily journey, because that's all you have is today. And that's where I talk about the magic in the moment and being in the present moment, because I've seen it firsthand from my experiences, from professional rescue work to personal loss, my own tragedies that have helped me to see a bigger picture and to help paint that picture as a spiritual ambassador to help people with their questions. So if you have a question, if you're new to the Metaphysical Mocha Mondays platform, welcome. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate you. This is your spiritual community. This is your soul tribe. I will be right after this. You can switch over to the Intuitive Prospector page here on Facebook, and I'll be doing a Facebook Live. I usually do about 35 to 40 minutes, depending on how many people are prospecting with me. Over on that page, and that'll be right after this show at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So if you want to ask me a question, I may draw a card for you. We can have a spiritual conversation. That's the Q&A after show over on the Intuitive Prospector page. So I hope that you'll go prospecting with me on that page as well. So let me just keep track of time, because the time goes by so quick. But grab another drink of coffee or tea, take in another deep breath. I want to give you some spiritual guidance for the week, some positive affirmations. Even on our Inspired Living radio show, we highly believe in the power of your words. I believe that word by word, you have the ability to change your life and to change the universe, and the universe is always listening. So we like to have positive affirmations. So this week I thought I would read a couple from Dr. Luther King Jr., because it is Dr. Luther King Jr. Day, recognized as a person, a great person that inspired, made great change, made great strides, and was actually killed for what he believed in. So this morning, I want you to just take in some of the quotes from Dr. King, some of the things that he believed in. The first one is, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. One of my favorite ones is he talked about because we've all, if you're watching this, and if you've had a spiritual awakening, I usually say that a shakening causes a spiritual awakening. You've had some sort of trauma, some sort of maybe a loved one has passed, or a family member, or a friend, a coworker, or you've had your own near-death experience. Something usually causes the awakening, that shaking. And one of the ones that I really leaned on during my dark days, during my transformation, was only in the darkness can you see the stars. So if you're having a rough go this week, just remember, you can only in the darkness can you see the stars. So there is light at the end of this tunnel. This too shall pass, as they say, for those that are watching and having a rough go. The other one that I love, the time is always right to do what is right. Integrity is doing what's right when nobody else is looking, right? Another one to help you if it's a positive affirmation that you need some inspirational uplifting or guidance is, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. And that's Dr. King. So happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to Dr. King, and for the great things that he did as a man, as a spirit, and the vibration that he sent out. And his vibration, his words are still being echoed today, many years later. So again, just some positive affirmations for you, some quotes from the great Dr. King on this day of remembrance of who he was and what he did. And again, today's topic is prayer. The thoughts that you send out, whatever prayer means for you. You may not even believe in a higher power. You may be agnostic, which is fine, which means you want proof of the unknown. You want proof of God. You may be atheist, which you have no belief system in the afterlife at all. That's fine. But you still have the power of your own thoughts. The only thing you're ever in control of is your own thoughts, and whether are the thoughts in your head. And when you send those outside of your body, that's called prayer. That's called sending out to something bigger. It's sending out the signal. Percolation, or what I call meditation, is percolating and filtering back some of those thoughts, some of those inspirations, some of those creative ideas that you'll receive back. Meditation is listening back to your own prayers. Patience, most people don't have a lot of patience. So if you find that you're lacking patience, take in nice 10 deep breaths. By doing so, by focusing on your breath, it brings you back into the present moment. It gets you out of your head of looking into the future. It gets you out of your head of what you didn't do in the past. And it brings you into what I call the magic in the moment. So, and you can do that through just breath exercise. A lot of YouTube videos that you can check out. I think I have a couple on the Learn It Live where I do vibrational chants. And if I don't have a breathing class, maybe I should do a breathing class just to help you on your journey. So, patience can go a long way, and of course you want to get to that peace, protecting your peace, finding your peace, being within your peace as much as possible, because in a world that's chaotic, in a world that has a history of violence, there's always going to be that. You've got to find a way that works for you, where you're at peace and you feel like you're walking your path, whatever your spiritual path is. So prayers, percolation, patience, and peace, that's today's topic. So kind of marinate on that, let that percolate in, if you will. I do want to give you some things to think about for the week ahead, some spiritual tools for the toolbox. And if anybody wants to post a picture, or if you want to engage with the spiritual community, the comments below, please do so. It doesn't have to be just me talking to you guys. I love interaction. I love people, saying hi to one another. It is a soul tribe. It is a spiritual community. We've got about 80 people on board all around the world watching. So say hi, introduce yourself. And if you want to post a picture of what I'm talking about, this really helps too, so people can visually see. It's hard for me to talk and type and share everything at the same time. But the prospecting stone for the week is called Zoisite. Zoisite. It's not a stone that I'm very familiar with. It comes in a couple different colors: brown, blue, green, red. It's got some of it's colorless. It might be white, but it's called Zoisite. If I'm saying it right, I may be even actually pronouncing it wrong. But I try to learn along with you. And being that I'm the Intuitive Prospector, I'm always looking for different stones and crystals. And crystals can really enhance your vibration as well. Didn't really believe it back in the day until I had my own experiences and learned it for myself. So that's why I share that with you. Give it a whirl. Give it a go if you've never worked with crystals or stones. But it's called zoisite. It's a rarity. It's a rarity stone, but you can find it usually in specialty shops. Often with the ruby stone is where zoisite is located. It comes from Austria, India, Madagascar, Russia, Sri Lanka, and Cambodia and Kenya. So it's over on the other side of the world where it's mined. But what caught my attention about the attributes of zoisite is that it transmutes negative energies into positive ones and connects you to the spiritual realms. So today we're talking about prayer, percolation, patience, and peace. So if you ever want to try meditating with a stone to increase your vibration, highly recommend that. And if you're having a negative thought pattern, use a stone to see if that will change your negative thoughts and actually transform it or change the signal, change the radio station, if you will, and turn it into more positive ones and get that spiritual connection. Again, explore the unknown. If you've never worked with it, explore it and see if you can see the unseen and tap into that. And when I say see the unseen, I don't mean see it with your physical eyes. I mean see it with your third eye right here, which connects to your brain, using all of your different senses to feel, to know, to taste, to hear, to see this spiritual world. And you have a lot of senses, and everybody can do this, guys. You don't have to, I've just been working at this for many years, and mentorship, and it's a vocation for me. Mediumship and psychic sciences, it's a vocation, and so I've really worked hard to get a better understanding and share that with you. But everybody is capable of this. I'm nobody special. So give it a go. See if that works for you. The card today that I picked was a great card. The card is the abundance card from numerology. So I study the numbers because we're a species that use numbers on a daily basis. Numbers are always around us, from the time we get up to the time we go to bed, to the time that I run this show. So I am a numerologist. I do study numbers and see how numbers play a part in our life. And today's number is the abundance card. Now I know it's backwards on the video, but the number is 88, which is double infinity. Very powerful week for you. The abundance card, when I pull that card for people, it's to remind you to have an attitude for abundance, and to in order to attract that into your life, I like to say that things are born twice. First, up here, what's your thought process? What's your creative? What's your business plan? What's your book you want to write? What's the music you want to record? It all starts right here in your inspiration. And when you bring it from here into your own reality, that's where I say things are born twice. So if you start having an attitude for abundance and what you want in your life, start creating it here, bring it out into your reality. I always say, look at everything around you in the room that you're at right now. That's somebody else's idea. This backdrop right here, somebody else's idea. This chair right here, somebody else's idea. These bracelets that I'm wearing, somebody else's idea. This shirt that I love, it's somebody else's creative concept brought into my own reality. So you can do that same thing. So again, the number is 88, double infinity. Pay attention to the colors of red. Pay attention to any kind of abundance, anything that you want for abundance. Again, pink and reds, very strong. So pay attention to that. The crystal, again, the prospecting stone for this week is zoisite, Z-O-I-S-I-T-E. If you'd like to put a picture, please do so on the community page. And please subscribe to this page so you can get the video every time we're live. If you do miss the live video, you can catch it on my YouTube library, which is the Intuitive Prospector on YouTube. I'll put a link here later where you can subscribe. For all new subscribers, in the month of January, I am going to pick one lucky subscriber that's new to my page to have a free 30-minute reading with me, either over the phone, video, or in person. So you'll want to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube library, because you get all of these shows, you get all of my Inspired Living radio shows as well on my playlist, so you can catch all the shows that we've done, and then I have some other fun videos of exploring the world, what I call soul adventures. So the last one for today, in your animal spirit guide, something to pay attention to. While I was out doing Qigong, I wasn't sure what the animal spirit animal was going to be honest with you, because a lot of this is right before the show based on my morning meditations. And the seagull kept landing on my roof and paying attention to the Qigong that I was doing. So I thought, you know what? I guess we're going to make the seagull our spirit animal week, our spirit animal for the week, if you will. And when the seagull shows up, what that means for you is just about opening up communications with the realm of nature, with spirit, with other people, but it's also time to clean up your home environment and let go of it and recycle as much as you possibly can. So it's, whether the message is for me, telling me that I need to clean up my house, I need to recycle or let go of things that no longer serve my purpose, and then also open up with my communications with nature. And I have been having that desire and that itch to get out into nature. I think we're going to do some snowshoeing next week, just so I can get out. I try to get out into nature a couple times a month if I can, and I've been kind of lacking on doing that. So that's my own message from the seagull, is to get your butt out into nature. And nature is our greatest teacher. Nature is our greatest healer. So I hope that you'll take advantage if you're capable. If you can't get out in nature, for those that are watching, bring nature into you. When I mean bring plants, bring animals, bring things in. If you're not capable of walking, or you have some medical ailments, then bring nature into you, because it really is your greatest teacher, and it really is your greatest healer. So always a fun show here on Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. Wanted to share before time runs out here in about 3 minutes. I am going to be shifting over to the Intuitive Prospector page for the Q&A after show, where we can have a direct conversation, Q&A, directly with you. So please join me over there. The link is in the comment section below. You can just click on that, the Intuitive Prospector page. But some people were asking me about my floating experience yesterday. Had a heck of a time. If you've never floated, it's salt water. And you go into a tube, or a pod, if you will, and you lay in the dark for an hour. And I had a phenomenal experience. I was actually a little... somebody was asking me if the water was warm. It was warm. It's about this much water, and you actually float because there's about 22 bags of Epsom salt in the water, and then it filters out. And so you lay in this. You can do it with lights and music, but I did mine completely in the dark and silent, and floated for an hour. And I had just it was really cool to be almost like in space. Couldn't feel anything as far as I just felt like I was floating. So great experience. I was a little dizzy when I got done. I felt like my etheric body, my energy body, wanted to leave my physical body. So that was very interesting, of course. And I have a lot of people that I work with on the spiritual side, so they came through, which is pretty common for me. But I would give it a go. If you've never done floating, check your local city to see if there is a float shop. F-L-O-A-T, float is the actual franchise name, and they have pods that you can go lay in and just see what the experience is like for you. I enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing it again moving forward, but I thought I'd just share that for those that were asking this morning. Thanks for asking, that might be watching this. So yeah, you want to make sure the water is warm, and that you can just have dedicated time to float for an hour in the dark or in the light with music, and really just enjoy that experience and just have a conversation with your own mind. So just wanted to share that with you. It was a lot of fun. I'm all about new adventures, new experiences, or as I like to say, dare to dream, or dare to explore, dare to dream, dare to live, explore the unknown, see the unseen, and have many soul adventures, because it's important to collect memories, not things. That's what life is all about. So I'm going to switch over to the Intuitive Prospector page. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you want to catch my show on Wisdom Wednesdays, that's Inspired Living Radio, at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back here next Monday here on the Om Times Institute page. Check out the page. A lot of great teachers, a lot of great subjects for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. You can catch all of my classes too online through the Om Times Institute on the Learn It Live platform. And also that's where my spiritual development group is, also a weekly group. So if you don't find any of that, just go to marcleonhart.com. That's the one-stop shop for all of your spiritual awesomeness, or just internet search the Intuitive Prospector, and I look forward to prospecting with you. So until our next soul adventure, remember prayer, percolation, patience, find your peace. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in this morning. I'll see you next Monday at 8 a.m. for another Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with Marc. Until then, be kind, be caring, be compassionate. Namaste.